Hey everyone, Colton Rodrigue here from Elefante RevOps. Last week, I had the chance to be in Washington, D.C. for GTM 25. And let me tell you, a great opportunity to connect and hear new ideas shaping go-to-market today. It was 3 days packed with executives, operators, and thought leaders, all focused on one thing: the future of B2B go-to-market. The conference had some good parts and some bad parts, so I'll share with you my perspective on both. Overall, the positive parts were that it gave me a whole new perspective. It reinforced the direction and where I need to go with my business for Elefante RevOps. I think the biggest part that I learned was the name of the game today for B2B go-to-market is how can we automate, streamline our efficiencies and incorporate technology like AI into our systems so that we can reduce the total cost of how we go to market and therefore increasing our margins and our profit. But also, how do we double down on humans and create more of a humanized experience throughout our customer journeys? As AI keeps on emerging more and more into our day-to-day, it's very easy for us to see what's AI and what's human. And I think as business owners, we need to start thinking about, through our customer journey, what our customers are experiencing, and think about how can we make our customers' experiences more personable so that we can retain them for a long period of time. Let me break it down to you. Let me share some speakers that I listened to that really stood out to me, and I think this will be a great takeaway for you to kind of think about your business in a more clearly defined way on how you can deliver more impact directly to your customers so that you can retain them for a long period of time and therefore earning more and more revenue for your business so you can scale more sustainably. One of the talks that really stood out was by Jacco, Kooij. Jacco, apologies ahead of time if I butchered that name. But anyways, the $100 million illusion, why most GTM engines stop compounding before takeoff. Jacco challenged a lot of assumptions about growth. Growth seems simple at first, but companies hit walls because their go-to-market architecture is broken. Too much focus on acquisition, not enough on retention and expansion. Again, pleasing our customers. AI is shortening customer lifespans. You can't rely on customers sticking for 6 to 10 years anymore. Competitors can win them away in months. Compounding doesn't last forever. Recurring revenue only works if it keeps compounding, and some SaaS companies already hit the stall point without realizing it. The paradigm is shifting under our feet as we know it, and everybody's just scrambling to try to figure out what's happening. What we're experiencing now today, take for example, Lovable. I think they were the fastest to hit 100 million in ARR. I think they did it in 8 months. Businesses aren't focusing enough on retention and expansion. I think businesses do a great job at getting to that 100 million mark, but then they kind of lose track of what really keeps customers around for that period of time. Jacco has this concept using the bow tie model of these growth loop reservoirs. And it's tied directly to Dave Boyce's idea of freemium and where most of the businesses are going today and leveraging AI. But using that bow tie model, you can identify 3 growth loop reservoirs. 1 is in acquisitions, 2 is in like onboarding and when we retain customers, and as users, they can be advocates for a brand and therefore word of mouth grow the brand extremely well. And then the 3rd is retaining that customer and expanding them to additional products and services. The issue is today that most businesses, when things start falling apart, they're like, okay, let's throw more money at marketing, let's throw money at sales, aka our acquisitions side of our business, and not put any money into like, how are we pleasing our customer? How are we creating an amazing experience for our customers so that they can stay with us? And the whole concept is, once you have a customer, the cheapest way to get more revenue with this existing customer is 1, to retain them and keep them, but then 2, have them become advocates of your brand and bring in their friends and colleagues and just be a huge promoter of your brand. So that was my takeaway from it. Get your revenue architecture right, get your systems, your processes, and your people all on the same page so that you can rely on the things that you designed in place and start really pinpointing the fixes that you need throughout your customer journey. And that's how you win today. That's where success is. Luckily, that's why I exist, to help business owners like this, and this is what we practice here at Elefante. Now, segment 2 with Dave Boyce. Dave Boyce gave a keynote called AI plus PLG, the GTM engine that runs leaner, faster, and smarter. Dave's main message, the future of GTM is not about adding more headcount, it's about smarter systems. Companies like Zoom, Canva, and ChatGPT didn't scale because they hired thousands of sales reps. The product carried the weight. Drop-off points in the customer journeys aren't just problems, they're signals. Every curve tells you if your product is getting better or leaking value. Dave came out with a book called Freemium. It's all built on the premise of this phenomenon that we're experiencing right now with B2B SaaS companies that are growing at a hyper-growth rate. A great example, and it's all based around a PLG motion and a go-to-market strategy. So the question is, how did Zoom or Lovable or Canva, how did these businesses not have a sales team, but somehow were extremely successful? There's a few things that I took away here. One, they were heavily reliant on the product and that their product was the best product out there. Two, they made it extremely frictionless for customers to just get started right away and see the immediate impact. And those are going to be the key players that stand out. So these AI native companies that are coming out with that is how we're going to think about doing it. The more AI native that you can become with your business, the more your people on your team are comfortable using AI and understand where the true value lies when implementing AI into your systems or into your business. Like, that's where you're going to win. It's a really interesting thing that we're going through with specifically PLG motions, a freemium revenue model to grow a business today. If you're an operator in general for a business, or if you're a owner of a business, like, that's where your mind should be at, is how can you use AI in a way to reduce the cost of your business and increase the revenue. Find the issues, fix it with AI, scale a business like the top players today. So I'll leave you with this. Where do you see the biggest opportunity to replace headcount with systems? Finally, I have to talk about Will Guidara's keynote. This one was different. Instead of revenue models or growth curves, it was about hospitality. He calls it unreasonable hospitality. Hospitality isn't one size fits all. It's all about creating personal, unexpected moments, like when his team served a simple New York hot dog to a guest at a Michelin star restaurant. They came to New York City and they never had a hot dog. A waitress overheard them saying that they really wanted to have a hot dog, but they had to leave. They're flying out. So what they went out and did is they went to a hot dog stand just right outside the restaurant, brought it into the restaurant. The chef cut it up into 4 different pieces and served it to the customers. It wasn't about the product itself or the food, but it was going above and beyond to just make an experience for the customer. True hospitality can't be scaled by copy and paste. It's bespoke. It's listening deeply. Culture compounds when employees are trusted to create magical customer experiences. In today's world, the competitive edge is how you make people feel. The biggest takeaway was Will ended up becoming the #1 restaurant in the world. He did it differently in that he focused on the experience. And most of those customers, all those customers, didn't remember anything about the food itself, but they remembered that hot dog that the chef cut up in this Michelin star restaurant, served to them on a beautiful plate, and created an amazing experience for them as customers that they'll never forget. Now, I did say I would talk about some negative things from GTM 25 that I think it's just worth mentioning. Since we're talking about these humanized experiences, since we're talking about retention and expansion, I think events today, they gotta change. And I think they will change. Pavilion, if you're listening to this, I hope you find it valuable in this feedback. But when we go to these events, the last thing we want to be in a loud hallway where we're getting pitched to and we're trying to network and talk to people at the same time that you can't even hear what's being said. Honestly, I didn't even stay in the hallway. I didn't listen to a single product pitch because that's not what I went there for. I think I went there for the networking, for the different shift in perspective, and I got that a bit, but I think we can do better when it comes to events. Anyways, let me get into more of a positive side of things. I just wanted to share with you guys. Let me jump into some books. So a couple of books at GTM from the conversations I heard. First book, Freemium by Dave Boyce. This book explores how the freemium model can drive exponential growth by letting the product do most of the selling and what it really takes to make freemium sustainable. Next one is Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. This one's all about transforming the way we think about customer experience. It shows how intentional personal touches, not big budgets, can create loyalty and magic in both hospitality and business. If you want to go deeper into the themes from GTM 25, these two are great starting points. So overall, GTM 25 wasn't just about learning frameworks. It was about rethinking what growth really means in 2025 and beyond. We're here at a moment where GTM isn't about more people. It's about smarter systems, better architecture, and deeper human connection. I'll be sharing more takeaways in the coming weeks, but I'd love to hear from you. Which of these three ideas, Jacco's revenue architecture, Dave's freemium AI plus PLG, or Will's bespoke hospitality resonates most with you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you want more insights on GTM strategy. Keep doing it big. I'll see you next time. Peace out for now. My name's Colton Rodriguez. I'll see you later.